Hi, my friends. Welcome to another Fridays with Us. I believe this will be episode 3. I have a special guest here today with me. I just wanted to go over what I am going to be working on while we are talking, and that is Autumn Path by Diamond Art Club. I am enjoying this painting so much. It is by Olha Darchuk, and the colors are absolutely amazing. This is such a good break from McT Swaddle. So using that, I'm using my pink Temu pen with my 7-place skinny Diamond Art Club multiplacer, which I love, and a glue dot. I've got Alien Putty. I think it's Ocean 80 Alien Putty in my multiplacer, and then I'm using my custom Totem Ephemera 3D tray. So with that, we're gonna get started. So hello, special guest.
Hello.
Would you like to tell us your name?
Hi everybody, my name's Kelsey.
And Kelsey, what is your relationship to me?
I am your daughter, the oldest child.
You sure are. I love how you say that too. Yes, you are the oldest child. And how old are you, speaking of that?
27.
27. Oh my gosh. I can't believe you're 27.
I know, me either.
I literally, when I think of you, 27 just does, I just think of you as a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just cannot fathom it. I mean,
Yeah,
I had you when I was 27. I had you when I was 27.
Mm-hmm.
I was 27 years old. So when I interview your younger brother, let's make sure.
But he's not smaller.
Yeah, right. When I interview him, I'm going to ask him the same question. How tall are you?
Oh, well, I'm 5'5.5". I'm the shortest one in the house. Yeah, Brennan's way taller than me. He's like gigantor. I'll let him say how tall he is, but yeah, I'm the shortest one in the house. I got Dad's side of the family with the short genes, unfortunately, but at least I'm not like 5 foot. I could be shorter.
Yeah, five and a half is a respectable height for a woman, you know? Isn't it? I mean, what's the average height of a woman?
I think it's 5'4".
Oh, okay. There you go. So that sounds right to me. It can't be 5'2". It's got to be 5'4".
I think last time I checked, it was 5'4". I'm pretty tall at work, though. I'm not the tallest at my job, but when I go out in public, I do feel pretty tall compared to a lot of the women that I see.
Do you have all women at your work? There's no guys that work there?
No, we have a couple volunteers who are guys, like because we have teenage volunteers. I don't know how that happened. We used to have one guy working there, but he was working another job at the same time, and he was only able to work at my job not as often, just a little bit out of the week, and it was kind of taking time away from him, so he went to go work full time. It was at the other place.
So he was he a teenager, you said?
No.
Oh, okay.
We just have a couple male teen volunteers.
But, okay.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. Just everybody in my work, it's all women.
That is unusual. That is unusual. And speaking of your work, you want to tell everybody what you do, because it's really cool.
Yeah, so I work Parks and Rec, following the trend of everybody in the family kind of working for the city. I work for Redmond at one of the really, really cool parks, and it's not just Parks and Rec, like taking care of the gardens and everything. My park is really, really cool and unique. We have kind of like a farm down there, so we have horses, we have goats, chickens, ducks, pigs, a cow, a donkey, all kinds of different farm animals. So my job is to basically take care of all the animals. So I get up really early every morning. I go out there and feed everybody, clean out their enclosures, and because I've been there for a while, they also train me how to teach all the farm programs down there. So I also teach a lot of the really fun programs. We do like arts and crafts, we do goat hikes, all kinds of just kind of like animal themed activities.
Okay, real quick, tell us what a goat hike is. I love that. What the heck is a goat hike?
We have a lot of goats down at the farm, and we have kind of two versions. There's either like the short 30-minute hike, which is usually with kind of smaller kids, and we just go on a short little jaunt through the woods, walking our goats with us. Then we have the hour-long one, which usually more adults sign up for, and we go on some of the longer trails all around the perimeters and everything, and sometimes we put costumes on the animals, depending on what time of the year we're doing it. So we do wreath-making classes, and the goats wear scarves and little Santa hats and things like that, and then Halloween, they wear little Halloween costumes. We even have a St. Patrick's Day themed one, so we have a bunch of leprechaun goats out in the woods. It's a lot of fun.
Gosh.
Yeah, on top of doing all that, I'm also a substitute teacher at the preschool we have there at the park, Nature Vision Preschool. So I wear a lot of hats at the park, you could say. I do a lot of things, and it's a lot of fun.
You do.
As soon as I saw the job posting, I was like, I have to get that by any means.
Yeah.
And I made sure to tell them that in the interview, like, please, I've been herding goats with my family for 10 years. We've been breeding and raising dairy goats. I have to have this job, and I got it. So here we are today.
Yeah. How long have you been there now?
Oh, it's gonna be almost 3 years now.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, I just got my 3rd raise.
Wow.
Here a couple weeks ago. So yeah, been over 2 years, coming up on 3.
Wow. And they even wanted you to be like a lead teacher, didn't they?
The preschool did, yeah. They so the teachers went part-time instead of all full-time, and they offered me one of those positions, but the schedule that I would have had to have worked in the preschool was going to conflict with me working on the farm. I would have only been able to work on the farm maybe on the weekends and during the summer, and personally I really like working with animals, and I just couldn't give that up, so I had to turn them down, unfortunately.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun herding goats here, didn't we?
Well, I think that's how it landed me the job. I was looking for a good city job because I've been working retail and in coffee shops for a really long time, and after a couple really bad experiences with a few of those jobs, I was like, I'm done with this. I'm done with the drama. I'm going to find like a good city job like Dad and Brendan have. And yeah, I saw that job listing. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I could get a job.
Yeah, you're
based on my experience of herding goats with the family.
Right? For those of you guys who don't know, because I haven't really talked about this, but I mean, everybody knows that we have goats, but we used to have a lot of goats, and we would herd them on our property and like walk them around and have them eat and stuff, and so that was always fun. That was always fun, especially when they decided it was time to come back.
Yes, and they'd all take off at the same time, and we're running after 10 plus goats, and they immediately go for things they're not supposed to eat, like the vegetable garden, the fruit trees. They're scattering all over, and you're trying to catch them all, and they're like, why are we running?
Yeah, I don't know how Marcia did it. Marcia is the person that we bought our goats from, and she has like, what, 200 plus goats? And she would just take, what, 100 plus of them?
Yeah, because I was volunteering over at her farm for a while for the community service hours that I needed in school, and I don't know how she did it. She was way older than me. I was just a little teenager at the time trying to keep up in these rubber boots, and she's like running full speed, keeping up with hundreds of goats down the road, and I was getting out of breath trying to keep up with her. I'm like, oh my goodness, this woman is really in shape. I can't do this.
That'll do it to you, the goats.
Yeah.
So you talked a little bit about working in retail and coffee, but tell us about your jobs. What start all the way from high school?
Yeah, so graduated high school and ended up going to college first, which we'll kind of get to that in a minute. But I worked at a Starbucks first. I worked there for a few years, and it was one of those ones that's inside of a store, so it's a little bit different. You're technically an employee of the store and not really an employee of the Starbucks. That was so weird to me. It was really weird. So we weren't allowed to take tips for most of the time that I worked there until they finally changed that. But honestly, I don't really have anything bad to say about working at Starbucks. It was really nice. Like, everything's really structured. I had a really good boss, really good coworkers who, they were always willing to cover shifts. Everybody was really nice to each other. And so that was my impression of working in a coffee shop. And then I was getting ready to move out, and we were going to go rent an apartment out in Bothell because that was close to UW, and my friend and I had thought about going back to school. And so I applied for some jobs out there. I was kind of sad to leave working at Starbucks, so I applied for some of the local coffee shops because I was like, oh, that seems like it might be fun. And I applied for this one that's it's a bakery lunch coffee shop place, and I won't name names for the places that I worked. I don't want to harass them or give them any bad vibes or anything like that. But I worked at this place. It seemed really cute. But unfortunately, the people who worked there were some of the angriest, most immature people I have had the misfortune of meeting. There was everybody acted like they were in high school, even though everybody who worked there was well into their 20s. So anybody who was just starting out was treated pretty badly and with a lot of just disdain.
Wasn't it a mom and daughter?
No, that was the next place.
Oh, okay, okay.
This one I worked, it was just anybody who had been there a long time. They had their own little clique, and they were rude and talked down to people who were just starting. And after a few incidents of, talking to the boss about it and just all kinds of other things happening, I just finally had enough one day. And I just stopped working there because I'm not going to deal with people trying to act like, high schoolers, where when you're at a job you're already stressed enough trying to work when it's really, really busy.
Right.
You don't need the drama of having people be mean to you at the same time who work there.
Yeah.
But I quit working there, and I tried this other place that was also really, really nice. It was a much older coffee place. It was really, really cute. I enjoyed working there. It was some first-time business owners. It was their first time owning a business, so things were a little chaotic, but it was really, really nice. And then I got sick, and I came back, and it turned out everybody had been talking about how much they were getting paid while I was gone. And
to each other.
And they came up to me because I had been given the title of shift lead. And I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize everybody was so upset about this, because they were frustrated. They found out everybody was getting paid different, and the amount each person was being paid didn't make a lot of sense. So they were pretty frustrated. They came to me, talked about it, and I kind of chatted with everybody about how much everyone was getting paid to kind of get a grip on the situation. Found out I was actually being paid less than a couple people who had just started, which was a little frustrating because I had been there a while. I had to train every single person. I had to interview people who were starting, and I kept kind of being thrown a bunch of other tasks because I had been there for such a long time that nobody else was really having to do. So it was a little frustrating to learn I was being paid less than somebody who had just started out. So I told, all my coworkers, well, I can't really do anything about this, but if you're frustrated, you should talk to the owners, about your concerns and everything. So on my own, I approached one of the owners. I told her what was going on, how I felt about it. And so we had said we were going to just meet, talk about, what I was feeling, what I, thought solutions could be, just things like that. It was just going to be a one-on-one meeting, very relaxed.
With the owner.
With one of the owners.
Yeah.
It's going to be very chill. And I was like, okay, this sounds good. Next couple days I had off, and all of a sudden, I guess the situation really, really escalated. Everybody started going to the other owner on their own. And she got really, really upset with everybody for bringing up their pay. And I don't really know the specifics, but I heard one girl ended up running crying out of the store, and a bunch of other drama happened. And before I know it, my phone is I'm getting all these text messages from my coworkers, from my boss, just telling me what's going on. And my boss is blaming me for everything that's happening. She's telling me I have just started a mutiny and just saying, how could I do this? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I was just going to meet with the other owner about what's going on. I don't know why you're accusing me of all this. And it just kept going on and on. She was sending me paragraph after paragraph. I was so angry. And I started to kind of explain my side of the story. And then I realized after one or two texts back and forth that it wasn't going to go anywhere, and she wasn't going to listen to me. And I was just going to get horribly punished for something that was not my fault.
Right.
And so I just ended up quitting on the spot, brought in my keys, and I thought we were all over and done. And then the next morning I woke up to a text with her threatening to sue me.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that was a really, really crazy situation. I don't think I'm ever going to work in places like that ever again. And now I'm really, really happy with the job that I have.
Yeah.
There's no drama that I have to deal with. Everybody gets along really well. We're all happy with our jobs there. We're just there to enjoy working outdoors, enjoy working with animals and people, and everybody's very mature. I appreciate it a lot. So
are you the youngest person there?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm kind of like, I don't know. I feel like everybody else is about the same age as me.
Oh, okay.
So at my job, we actually have a lot of teen volunteers too. So we have all these teenagers running around all the time on the weekends. And then when they get to be, I think, 18, they can actually apply to be a working student. So then they can get paid to be there.
That'd be nice.
They get keys, they get more hours, and they get to do more things. And then eventually they can actually do the same job as me if they want.
Yeah.
So yeah, we would just have people of all ages kind of running around. Like one of our volunteers, I think she's like in her 70s. She comes out on the weekends, volunteer her time doing manual labor and all kinds of other fun stuff, and she's rocking it.
That's really, really cool. That's really, really cool. How big is the park?
It's I think it's 65 acres of land. So it was donated to the city when the original owner passed away, and they didn't find out about it. So it was in the 70s that it became a park.
Is it named after the owner?
Mm-hmm.
What's
So it's Farrell McWhirter Park. It's named after Elise Farrell McWhirter. And my boss actually does a really cool presentation on the history of Elise Farrell McWhirter. She is actually a very, very interesting woman.
Really?
She wore denim jeans, drove a tractor, and she was a very cool lady and led a very, very interesting and colorful life. So I just recently got to sit on the presentation. I was like, oh my gosh, she did and my boss did all the research on her own.
That's really cool.
And set up this whole presentation. And every year she finds out more. And
I love history.
No, it's so, so cool.
I love history so much. Yeah. That's really, really cool. You hear about people donating, like their land or whatever. And was it how old's the park? Was it a long time ago?
It's been there for a really, really long time.
Okay, because I was going to say 65 acres in.
Yeah.
That's a lot of acreage.
It was originally logged.
Okay, well, yeah.
Yeah, it was a chicken farm at one point. I don't remember all the details, but it's been a lot of different things. And then it became a horse boarding place because the chicken farm wasn't profitable anymore. The original family who owned it was from Tennessee, so the buildings are built in a different style. They have stucco on the outsides, which isn't that great for the Pacific Northwest.
Is the worst.
But
that is the worst.
Luckily, our park ops people do a really good job of maintaining it. But the design of the house is like L-shaped with a really big breezeway because where they were from, that kind of style would help cool the house down, which you don't need up here.
No.
It still works pretty well, and so when we take our break, we're in an authentic farmhouse. There's a few buildings down there. The barn's over 100 years old. It was built from really old trees from the forest at the park. You can see all the old tree stumps and the notches where the trees were originally cut.
Yeah.
It's a lot of history in that park. And it was donated to the city on the condition that it had to remain a park with horses and animals and programs for children.
That is so cool. Man, some people are that's just, wow. Yeah. I wonder, she must not have had any family, or if she did, she didn't like them.
Yeah.
If she did, she didn't like them.
She did marry, but I don't know. I don't remember if she had kids or not.
Yeah. That's crazy. So you actually said this, you went to college. Yes, you did.
I did.
And you had a very high grade point average, my dear.
I did. Yeah, I went to college to be a graphic designer. So I have a degree in graphic design, and I went to college with my best friend. We got the same degree, and I don't know. I tried to get into the field. I almost got a really, really good job at a firm, but they ended up, unfortunately, at the last minute, giving it to somebody who popped up who already worked there and wanted it, which was kind of disappointing. But yeah, I think after kind of dealing with that and also kind of seeing how the field works with my friend getting a really good job in that field, I kind of was like, I don't know if I really want to do this. I don't know if I want to use my creativity and imagination to make money. I don't know if I would enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just kind of worked in different places and then eventually scored the job that I have now, and I'm very happy with the job I have now. But every now and then I still get to use my degree. I use it in a lot of my free time, just making things and.
Well, I hope you're gonna help me with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I
need you.
Yeah.
I need you.
So I wouldn't say it was totally wasted. I definitely use a lot of the knowledge that I gained getting that degree in just my hobbies now. And
hey, I just thought of this. So in the diamond painting world, a lot of people talk about AI art, but they also talk about people who are graphic designers.
Yeah.
And there's this whole, like, I wouldn't call it a controversy. I would just say that people have different views on AI art and graphic design in general. And I think what it is with the graphic design part of it is, at least it seems to me, is it's almost like people don't quite understand what graphic design is. So when you are creating an image, it's you're doing it. It's not, yes, you're using a computer, right? Can you just explain a little bit about, let's say you were going to make this painting and you're a graphic design artist. How are you doing that? Are you, how hands-on is it? Is it all computer? Is it you? Is it what?
Well, it depends, because I'm sure you could make diamond painting with traditional media, and then you would probably still have to get it scanned into the computer somehow, because you have to get all like the little the little squares with their little symbols on there.
That for sure, yeah.
You have to get it printed out and everything, but I don't see why you couldn't design something like this with traditional media or a computer. It can go either way. Either way, there's probably going to be a computer involved somewhere, just in the printing process. And
definitely in the printing process.
Yeah.
But what a lot of people say is the art itself. So I wish I had the drawing, but like the art itself, because a graphic designer did it, it's almost not, as, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, if you're using, like, if you're making digital media, something like if you were to paint this in a digital program, it's different and also similar to if you were using a paintbrush. Obviously, if you're using tools, you need to be pretty dexterous with your hands and actually know how to use your tools properly. But it can go the same way if you're using, a digital art program. A lot of people think that using a digital art program, it's just going to be easier, but it's really not. You really have to know how to use your tools, how to use them properly, because when your art piece comes out, people can know right away whether or not you know what you're doing. The same way if you were drawing, painting, people can tell immediately, like, oh, this person is really, really skilled at what they do or not. Yeah. So it's pretty much the same way. It goes the same way if you were learning any other type of art form.
Right.
And I wouldn't say it's easier than anything else, because you do have to learn the proper techniques. You have to learn how to use your tools. And
I mean, I've seen you do it, and I know how hard it is, because it's just like, oh my gosh, like you're kidding me. You're having to do all that. I mean, you literally would do a drawing, let's just say, and you're literally, it's like pixel by pixel sometimes working on stuff. Yeah. So it's like, one drawing, you might work on that for long time.
And even if it's not something you made, even if you're editing another piece of artwork, if you're trying to do some big changes to it, like, that's not easy. It takes a long time. I'll sometimes spend hours just literally recoloring something, right? Just trying to get the colors and shades to match, and making sure I didn't miss this over here, and zooming in, making layers, and it'll take a long time.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it's the easier form of media to.
It's just a different form.
It's just
a different form, right? And that's the thing, is it's just different, and it's, I mean,
you'll have someone go, oh, I'm just gonna Photoshop this really quick, and then you get in there and you realize it's not unless you know what you're doing, it's not always as easy to just do that as you think, because you can tell if somebody's poorly photoshopped something right away.
Right.
You just see, you're like, oh, somebody just copied and pasted that right on there. I can see where you did that.
Right.
And with AI art, it's the same thing. You can almost immediately see if, oh, this is an AI generated image. Oh, they missed the fingers. They missed something here.
It's always the fingers.
It's always the fingers.
It's always
or
the
teeth.
Fingers. Or the teeth?
Yep.
That's the other
teeth
one.
Too, the eyes. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And if you notice in a lot of AI art, you look at the edges, because
of the
AI art has
object?
a hard time. It has a hard time focusing on anything that is not the prompt you put in, like the immediate prompt. So if you look at the smaller details, that's where you'll notice it, because it doesn't focus on that. It focuses on the main prompt that you put in, and anything else is secondary. It almost reminds me of when you're dreaming. That's what you see.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's kind of how AI art looks to me. It's like the things you see in weird dreams.
Yeah. AI art is
the details
just so strange to me.
The details are messed up, and you can see it.
Yeah. So what are your favorite pastimes or hobbies that you have? What do you like to do?
Well, it kind of ties into my degree. I've actually been spending a lot of time lately just working with my digital art and stuff like that. So I really am into playing a lot of video games.
Yeah.
And because I can't just sit there and play video games now, I have to mod my games. I have to just make things different, change a color here, change a texture there. I can't just play my games now. I have to spend 3 hours making a mod for my games now. So I've had to utilize.
Are you a video game snob? Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't know. I'll play it and then I'm like, oh yeah, but what if I changed it to be like this? And so now I'll spend hours modding my games instead of actually playing them.
That's cool, though.
That's something I've been doing a lot lately. And like I was saying, it's not always easy to do that. I'm no good at coding or anything like that. I usually just make little visual changes here and there, or fixing problems with other people's mods that they've made that aren't working for me. I'll go in there and I'll try to fix it, and I'll spend 8 hours, and then it turns out it's just this little thing right here. That's the only thing that's wrong with it.
Oh my gosh.
But other than that, Mitchell and I really like to go on hikes whenever we can. We don't always have a ton of time. I tend to work on the weekends a lot. So when we do manage to get out, we try to go on hikes. And then, which it kind of ties into the story of the ring, I really like rocks, collecting rocks, not just agates. I wanted to be a paleontologist growing up, so I'm really into.
You sure
I have
did.
a whole collection of fossils.
You want to tell the preschool
cool
story real quick?
Oh yeah,
That's a very short story.
I swear it was when I was in first grade. Was it in preschool?
Yeah, it was in preschool. Yes, you were that smart.
Oh my goodness,
you were that smart.
Well, when I was a kid, I used to read a lot of dinosaur books, and
she could read when she was. You were 3. Yeah. You were about 3 years old when you could read,
and it wasn't just.
It wasn't our
books.
Oh no,
it was the books that had the full name of these dinosaurs in it, and I could pronounce them.
Yeah, it was crazy.
The full Latin names.
Yes.
And they ask you what you want to be when you're little, and the teacher asked me what I wanted to be, and I said I want to be a paleontologist. Just little me with this huge word coming out of my mouth. And she looked at me, and the teacher didn't even know what that was, and none of the kids knew what that was, and I had to explain to them what a paleontologist was.
But she mispronounced. Remember, she mispronounced one of the.
Yeah, she was mispronouncing the dinosaur names, and I had to.
But what did she say? What?
I don't remember which one it was.
I don't either. But you corrected her, and she actually got irritated.
Yeah, she didn't like me correcting her.
She was reading you guys a book about dinosaurs, and she said, whatever, some dinosaur. I think she said Brachiosaurus, and you were saying no, it's.
Well, it is pronounced Brachiosaurus.
Okay, then
but
she
must have said it differently.
I think she said it differently.
I don't know, but yeah, I still play lots of games with dinosaurs, and so now instead of having dinosaur toys, I just have my dinosaur toys in a game. You could say I never really grew out of that. And yeah, I've got a big fossil collection and rock collection. I've never found any really cool fossils. It's always clamshells that I find. That seems to be the most common. Yeah. But when I went to Europe, I did find a clam fossil when I was over there. Yes. Which was really, really cool.
That's really cool.
So that's my other favorite thing. It's just, I'm always looking at rocks. Mitchell knows every time we go anywhere and there's rocks, I'm just standing there, 90-degree angle, head bent down, looking at the rocks.
Get in that neck crick.
Not looking at anything else. I'm so bad about it. Even at work, we just got a brand new gravel road, and I examined the whole thing and found some really cool quartz crystals, like from inside of a geode. I went down the whole road just because I wanted to look for them.
I literally think we have a problem. I'm not kidding, because I cannot go to a beach. I can't go to a beach without looking down at the ground, and I get a headache now.
Yeah.
I'm getting older, and so it's like my neck, I just get the worst headache, and I'm just like, oh, the rest of the day. Kelsey, I totally forgot about this. When you were in high school, you had the opportunity to do something big, and you went somewhere.
Oh, when I went to Europe?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we did, remember, we sold everything. Remember that? We had a huge yard sale.
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember that. No, I took a lot of AP classes in high school, advanced placement, so it's like the honor classes, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I took, AP English and AP History, and it was AP European History. And for spring break, we had the opportunity to go on a trip to Europe with our class, which is really, really cool. You don't hear about things like that very often. But yeah, we went to Italy, France, we went to Belgium for a little bit, and then we went up to England.
Mm-hmm.
We were all exhausted by the time we were done, and I think our teacher was too, from having to supervise a gaggle of, 15, 16-year-olds.
How many of you went?
Oh, there were at least 20 kids.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, at least 20 kids.
That sounds about right to me.
And I was the only one who brought their phone.
And why was that?
Because, they said, don't bring anything valuable because, we're a bunch of teenagers.
They said, don't bring your cell phone.
Yeah, they know we're going to lose something like that. So they said, don't bring your phone, because they didn't want to be responsible for us losing it. So I was the only one who did, because Mom and Dad wanted to be in touch with their child while she's on the other side of the planet.
Yes.
So I brought my phone, so I had to be the kind of like, I don't know, the hub for all the messages from all the parents.
I was getting emails and messages every single day. Once they found out that you had a phone, every parent was like, can you tell Kelsey to tell blah, 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 that blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yes, I will.
So I'd go down, the next morning we're going to eat, and I'd be like, hey, Travis, your mom wants me to tell you that she loves you. Just telling all the kids, everybody in my class, your mom says this, your dad says this. Yeah. They want to know how you're doing. Do you, can I relay? Yeah. I was just I was the courier, if you will. I was the message relayer for the entire class. And I see why they didn't want us to bring our phones. One kid lost his passport. He was okay, he managed to get back all right, but he left his passport and everything in the hotel.
How did he get back?
I don't know.
Huh, okay.
I don't know, but he made it work. He got back okay, and we never found his passport, so I don't really know what happened there, but I can see why they didn't want us bringing valuable things like that.
Well, absolutely. I mean, but there was just no way. I'm like, I don't care.
But we toured 4 countries in a week, and then we were going to have school basically the next day. So we were so exhausted getting off that plane and coming back.
I remember I have the sweetest picture. Your brother missed you so much. Even though you guys hated each other, he still missed you so much. I know, I'm just kidding. But he missed you so much, and I have this great picture. So we picked up Kelsey from the airport, and she was in the front seat. I sat in the back to let her sit in the front, and I have this great picture of Brennan wrapping his arms around her neck from behind, not to strangle her, to give her a hug. And she's got her arm on his arm, and they're just sitting there. It's such a sweet picture. Yeah.
Yeah, we get along really, really well. A lot of people are just always like, oh, my brother or sister's so annoying, but I feel like we've always gotten along really, really well.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys have. You guys have always, I mean, things happen, but you guys have always gotten along so well, I mean, yeah. There was never any huge problems with you guys. You guys just were super sweet to each other. What's your favorite color?
Well, I like blue and green, so probably something in between those two. I don't know.
Teal?
No, not teal.
Okay.
Probably something a little like lighter colored. I couldn't think of the exact color over here, which is terrible because I'm a
Not
graphic designer
turquoise.
and I
Not
should
turquoise.
No,
Okay.
I should just know the name of every single color by now.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I went to school for, but yeah, something probably between blue and green, probably a little more on the bluish side, but I don't know exactly what. I like both colors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I got a green gem in my ring, so that works great.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your favorite childhood memory?
Oh, I don't know if I can pick a favorite, but I have a lot of good memories of hanging out with Brendan and Chucho when we were younger.
Oh, yeah.
So I just remember lots of like, you know, going up to the property we owned at the community club and goofing around. I have a really funny memory of I remember when he was on the news. It was snowing really bad, and he was on the news.
Yes.
So we went up to
Yes, I do.
his parents had their little property, and you guys were hanging out with them in their cabana, and so they both owned like trailers.
Oh yeah, you guys were in the trailer.
Yeah, you go camping up there kind of for like the
Yeah.
weekend. You just leave your trailer there. So we were in his trailer, and it was the one that we had sold them. It was our old trailer.
Yeah.
And we were sitting in there, and he said, "Guys, I was on the news. We got to watch." And so we're sitting in there, and I remember this very distinctly, and everybody was eating like those caramel apple lollipops.
Yeah.
And Brendan and Chucho are sitting there, and I'm sitting over at like the little kitchen table watching, and he's got one of those little tube TVs.
Yeah.
And he was recording it on a VHS tape so that he could always have it.
Yeah.
And he was only on there for maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And it was because it was snowing, and he had told the news anchor lady, "Yeah, I saw people sliding around, and there's just so much snow, and it's just crazy, man." And the second he popped up on that TV, Brendan and Chucho stood up, went, "Yeah!" And they threw their lollipops at the floor as hard as they can, and they shattered, and lollipop shrapnel just flew everywhere. And I was just like, "What is happening? What are you guys doing?" And they were just so excited to see him on the TV. So
He was a star.
oh yeah, I've got lots of good memories of just hanging out with them, even though being boys, they would try to ditch me a lot.
Oh, that's so
Leave me
funny. Yeah.
places.
Yeah.
And I was just there. They would try to, "Oh, we gotta get away from the girl, quick, let's go as fast as we can on our bikes and leave her there." And
Yeah.
it's like, "Guys, wait."
Yeah.
Because we would just do all kinds of weird things, run off in the woods and play with frogs and sticks and
Yeah. Catch all the.
yeah. So I have just lots of good memories of hanging out with them and doing stuff like that. I don't know if I could pick like a favorite, but
Yeah.
that
It's
was
hard.
that was one I thought of.
Yeah. It's hard to pick a favorite of, a lot of things because it's like, well, there's so many.
Yeah.
There's so many different things. Do you like music?
Oh yeah.
What do you like to listen to?
Well, I've always liked Linkin Park and stuff like that. It's just like Dad, you know. I know he still listens to it, so like a lot of Linkin Park.
Me
but
too.
Lately, I've gotten into there's a really good band I've listened to. It's called Dance with the Dead. They do like synthwave rock,
I don't even know what that
which is really really cool. I didn't know what that was either until I was listening to it, and I was like, "What kind of music is this?" So it's like rock music, but then they have like synth in there too.
What's synth?
So you know, like the
Like
little
synthesizer?
like the little keyboard synths. Like that.
Synthesizer?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
So it's a lot of that, and it's kind of like almost because a lot of music is leaning more towards like I don't know, like do they just have that synth in there? So
Oh, okay.
it's like a cool.
Wait, are you
mix.
saying synth like?
Like a
Are you
synthesizer with the music.
abbreviating the word synthesizer?
Yeah, that's
oh,
what they
okay.
call it.
Okay.
The official term they have all like these synth wave and
Got it. Okay.
chill lo-fi synths. So it's just it's a synthesizer.
Right.
And there's a lot of music going back to that style now. Not everybody likes it, but that's one band that I've started listening to recently. I haven't found a single song of theirs that I don't like. I can probably show you.
I
after we're
love
done, but,
bands like that. I
yeah.
love bands where it's like I love almost all of their songs.
Most of their songs they do don't have lyrics. They've done a couple that do.
Oh, so they don't sing?
No, it's just really, really cool music. So that's something I've been listening to a lot lately.
Cool.
But can never get over the classics. I still listen to Linkin Park all the time.
I love Linkin Park. I will always love Linkin Park.
And of course, Five Finger Death Punch is always really, really good too.
I love them so much. so much. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love all that. So, well, you kind of talked about this, but what's it like to have a younger brother?
Well,
is it weird because of how big he is?
Yeah, because he used to be way smaller than me, and you used to always say, "Watch out! Don't mess with him. He's gonna get bigger than you." Because we used to like wrestle all the time.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of weird, but he used to like it when I would grab him by his like arms and swing him around.
That's so funny. Yeah, like in a circle.
Yeah. It was weird. I'd be wrestling with the boys as a kid, and it wasn't like weird. I always just got along with guys better. I had a lot of bad experiences being friends with girls, unfortunately.
Same,
I only
Kelsey.
have one friend now who's a girl. We've been friends for, over a decade, but I've always just had really bad experiences being friends with girls. I don't know what it is.
I have too. But what do you think it is though? If you had to, what's your best idea?
Well, girls are more about hierarchy than boys are, from my experience. They're always trying to have a hierarchy of somebody who's better, prettier, whatever than the others, and they'll
keep talking.
They'll say bad things about each other behind each other's backs, and I don't know. I've never liked that. I'm pretty straightforward, I feel like, and I enjoy people who are straightforward and more honest about things. I don't like playing games with.
I don't like playing
talking
games
about
either.
Feelings and everything else.
Yeah,
like, women and girls tend to kind of avoid talking about the problem directly. They want you to, I guess, figure it out, and they'll imply things and use a lot more like body language and stuff, and it's just tell me what the problem is. I don't want to play these games.
So
just tell me what's wrong.
I'm always really direct. I've always been really direct and been like, hey, did I do something? Did I say something? What's going on? And I always get the same, no, everything's fine.
And I don't
and
like
it's
that.
obvious, and it's obvious it's not fine.
Yeah, I don't like playing those games. I had a lot of girls who would, I don't know if they just didn't like me, but they would, treat me rudely, and then they would act like nothing was wrong, or they would just, I don't know, they'd be really passive aggressive about stuff, and it's just like, if you think I'm uncool or something, then don't be friends with me. Don't play these games of acting like you're my friend, and then you're like, I had this one girl who would like ditch me all the time. I had this one girl who would treat me like her servant all the time, and just lots of experiences of girls like replacing me with other girlfriends or whatever. I had one, we hung out a lot, and I noticed every year she just started replacing one of her friends, and then eventually my number came up and she just replaced me. But like, a lot of guys, it's just like, you won't speak to them for 6 months, and then you meet up and it's just like nothing changed. And then women, it's just like, they forget about you and like, oh, we're not friends anymore, and it's just like,
I've always gotten along with guys better, always, and I have the exact same problem. That's why I don't have a lot of girlfriends, because if you're gonna be friends with me, you need to be yourself. You need to be an honest representation of who you are, instead of somebody who is pretending to be somebody, and then later I find out, oh, that's not who you were. Or the way I'm starting to look at it is, wait, you've always been this way. I'm just now finding out about it. So it's like, it's amazing. I have made so many friends with my subscribers, and yet had so many problems with other people. And it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I had somebody who I was friends with for a long time, and she broke things off and decided she didn't want to be friends with me anymore after huge drama that she was the one who started, and her family kind of perpetuated it, and it turned into kind of an ugly situation. I wanted nothing to do with it, and she kind of broke things off. And she was one of the friends I was talking about who was also really mean to me. She used to kind of treat me as a servant all the time, and would kind of take her anger out on me. And I used to be, pretty mild-mannered. I would just let people take advantage of me all the time because I didn't want to upset them.
You were so nice to people.
Yeah, and I didn't want to upset them. And so she broke things off, and I was like, okay, well, I guess if that's what you want. And I was very upset about it, but ultimately it was a good thing, because she was really pushing me around a lot and making me upset all the time. And then years later, she like reached out and wanted to be friends again and was apologizing, and I just never responded because I don't want someone like that in my life again. And she's still actively trying to reach out to me. She's even reached out to my brother to try to get him to pass along like her number to me. And I check social media every now and then when my friend comes over. I don't use it.
No.
Which we'll get to my opinions on that later, but I don't really use it. And so I see occasionally what like my old high school, the people I knew in high school are up to now, and I see the kind of person she is now, and I'm just like, I don't want someone like that in my life. Seeing the kind of person you've become, which I kind of knew that was going to happen, and she keeps trying to reach out to me and be friends, and I'm like, I can't relate to somebody like you. I don't think I could be friends again. So it's just,
I can't relate to people who hurt other people.
Yeah.
I can't relate to people who are just hurting other people. And it's just, or having destructive behavior, and it's just like, I don't understand you.
Well, it's like at the same time I've moved on, and I'm not the same person that I was when you decided not to be my friend anymore and you treated me like that. And it's like inviting a vampire into your house. As soon as you do that, you lose all your power. So I'm just choosing to not open the box.
Yeah.
Not open the door and invite the vampire in, because I don't want to deal with whatever may come.
No.
After that.
No.
But yeah, to get back to the original question.
Yeah. I
would rather have a brother than a sister, because just from my experiences of dealing with other girls, I don't think I could have gotten along with a sister. And I don't know if I would have been too happy about sharing my things as much with a sister.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like your clothes, your toys.
Yeah, like I shared things with Brennan all the time, and I always did. But like if it was somebody, like another girl, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I can see how it would be harder.
I've always been a bit of a tomboy, running off in the woods, catching critters, playing with sticks in the dirt all the time. And it would have been, I don't know, I feel like it would have been weird to have, another female sibling who's into, I don't know, different things.
Right.
So my brother and I got along because we were into a lot of the same things, and we could talk all the time about everything.
Yeah.
But if I had a sibling who was into totally different things, it would have been really weird. So I am glad I have a brother.
Yeah. And he's always there for you.
Yep.
So and you were here for him today.
Yeah, poor guy's really sick.
Yeah, he's really, really sick. And Kelsey brought him some Pedialyte and a big old deli sandwich, because he's been sick. Oh, he's been sick a long time. He's been sick a long, long time. So, what's your perfect idea of a day off?
Honestly, I spend most of my time on my computer, whether it's playing my games,
that's fair.
Modding my games. But if it was a day Mitchell and I had off, we would probably try to go do something, whether it's, I don't know, walk down and grab lunch, or if it was a nice day, I don't know, we could plan a hike for the weekend, something like that.
It's so nice where you live right now, because you can just
we
walk
live in
down.
a
You can
very
just walk.
walkable area.
Yeah, I was shocked. Like, I legitimately wanted to walk to the restaurant. I was like, no, I don't want to drive if it's right down the street. Let's just walk.
The next time you come over,
yeah,
we'll go to a different place.
We'll walk. We'll walk.
The further you go, the nicer it gets.
Oh, really?
It does.
Does it? Well, I don't want to say where you live. So, but I mean, like, is it north or south or east or west?
It's the same way we went last time.
Okay.
Yeah, the further you go that way, the nicer it gets.
Because it was nice. It was really, really nice.
Yeah, so it's very walkable. So, I don't know. We like to just walk around, maybe grab lunch, or just go for a walk, stuff like that. So.
Speaking of food, what's your favorite food?
Oh, I don't know, but you know me. Every time we go to Ixtapa, I have been getting the same thing since I was a kid. It's a bean burrito with rice and beans. I get it every single time. I've been getting it for 27 years.
Yes.
Never changed. And I get it with a Shirley Temple.
Yep.
Every single time. So, I don't know. I really like Mexican food. I don't know. It's hard to think of a favorite food. I can think of things that I don't like.
What don't you like?
Like, I'm the opposite of all of you guys like spicy food, and
oh yeah, you don't like spicy.
I do not like spicy food, and I don't know what it is. I'm really sensitive to spicy food and also caffeine. Like, coffee hurts my stomach,
yeah.
so that's why I get like
Yeah, what
other
is that
drinks.
drink again?
It's a Lotus, just a Lotus drink.
A
with, like,
Lotus,
orange
yeah.
juice in it. So I get stuff like that because
You can't handle the
it's
caffeine.
not as much caffeine as espresso sometimes, and it doesn't, like, I don't know what it is. Like, it's just the coffee's too acidic, but it hurts my stomach.
The coffee or the caffeine?
Like the espresso.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because if you had a Red Bull, would you be okay?
If I drank it, I will drink a Red Bull over the course of a week. I'm not even kidding.
That Red Bull
It's
that's
that
in the
bad.
refrigerator has been in there for about a week.
Yeah.
And it's a little tiny can. And I got one for a treat. And I'm like, it's still in the refrigerator.
I cannot have energy drinks. If I drank that in one day, I would not be okay.
You drink tea, right?
Yeah.
But it not caffeinated?
Tea with the caffeine, it's almost like it's not just like a caffeine additive, so
it's different.
It's a lot nicer. It doesn't really hit you the way something like this will. Like, I'm jittery from drinking a little. I've only had like maybe a third of this.
Yeah, you haven't.
And I'm just like, oh.
Well, I can't turn my camera that way, but yeah. No! Oh my gosh, I hope I didn't break my pen.
Yeah, I can't have a lot of caffeine.
The pen's okay, everybody. The pen's okay. I've broken so many of these dropping on.
No,
They're
don't
glass.
do that.
They're glass. So.
Other things I don't like avocado.
Oh,
Very
yeah,
sad.
no,
I
you
know all
do
you guys
not like avocado.
I don't like it.
That's okay.
And I'm not always a fan of pho either. I've had a few different kinds, and I don't know what it is. I'm not really a huge fan of it.
Mm-hmm.
Those are things I can think of off the top of my head. Green olives.
Oh yeah, you don't like green olives.
No.
No,
I love like the black olives, the ones you put on your fingers.
Yep, you got to put them on your fingers.
Great, but I don't like green olives.
You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to like green. You like pickles though, right?
Oh yeah, but I do not like salt and vinegar chips.
Oh, you don't like vinegar either.
Vinegar, but I love pickles. It's very strange.
That's so funny. Yeah, you hate vinegar.
It
oh my gosh.
has to be the dill pickles, though. I don't like relish and sweet pickles.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you don't like sweet pickles, right? Okay.
It tastes like relish.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of relish. Like, I used to actually really like it on like hot dogs. I don't like it anymore. I don't use it.
Sure, if you made it yourself, it would be great.
Maybe that would be the trick, is to make it myself. I remember looking into that with our cucumbers because remember, I think you guys wanted sweet pickles one year. Somebody wanted sweet pickles.
Not me.
Yeah, somebody wanted sweet pickles, and I was trying to find like the brine stuff for it, the mixture that goes in the brine. I could only find the dill pickle. So I've only made dill pickles.
I'm sure it's probably similar. You probably just have like, sugar.
I don't know. It must have sugar in it. It's got to. It's got to have sugar in it. Okay, this big question. Because you got something to say about this.
Oh, do I?
You got something to say.
Oh, yeah?
So I've already I made a joke because it's true, but I made a joke about it. I was talking about something and I said, yeah, I've got Facebook. I said, I have an Instagram account, but I don't use it. And I said, I definitely do not have a TikTok. And I said, and I said, and I'll tell you what, my daughter would kill me if I got a TikTok account. No, I don't have a TikTok account. I don't have one. But let's hear Kelsey's idea of social media. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't really use it. The only thing I use like one app to look at memes. But I don't really like using social media because if I have something to tell people that I know, I'll just tell them in person or text them. Like, I don't know, I don't really feel like logging into something and posting pictures of what I'm doing and letting everybody know where I work and what I'm up to. Also, I don't want to be pestered by people that I went to school with, especially now that I have one of them trying to get in touch with me. She's been trying to get in touch with me through Facebook, which I have a Facebook because when I used to work at Starbucks, we all communicated through the
That's right. You
the
guys
Facebook
would
message app about,
like, are we going to go to a movie or?
Like, yeah, because it was great. We went to movies and stuff together. So that I made a Facebook, I think, either like maybe for that.
Yeah, I think that's what you did it for.
I don't use it other than maybe Facebook Marketplace if I'm trying to sell a piece of furniture or something. But yeah,
I've never used Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, I use it every now and then to sell furniture or something. But Yeah, I really don't use it. I don't like the idea of a bunch of people knowing what I'm doing all the time and where I work and stuff like that. And I don't know, I wouldn't spend time on it, even if, like, I do have a Facebook and I've gone on it and I'm just like, I don't really want to spend time on this. I don't know, this just isn't very fun for me. I don't spend time worrying about what other people are doing that much either. Like, I have the people who actually matter to me and I always know what they're up to because I talk to them.
Right.
Basically.
Right.
And people are always shocked when I tell them I don't have any social media. They're like, oh, add me on Snapchat. What's your, like, oh, I'll pay you back. What's your Cash App or something?
Your Cash App. What's your Cash App?
Venmo. That's the one people use. And I'm just like, Is
that another Cash App type thing?
Venmo's another one.
Oh, okay.
I'm just like, I don't
before,
use any of those. And people are always shocked. They're like, you're telling me you don't have any social media? And they're like, and you don't watch the news either? Like, what? And I'm like, yes, I am a very happy person, actually. I don't watch TV. I don't have social media. Like, I just, like, I still find out about stuff, obviously, because my computer's got the news section.
Right.
And because I'm still using one app to look at memes, people always talk about what's going on in there. So I'm always, like,
you know,
I always kind of know what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
But I'm not really, like, spending a ton of time seeing it all over. And I don't know. I feel like I'm happier because I don't use a lot of social media.
Agree. I would 1,000% agree with you. When I got rid of the cable, which was when the vid hit, the big C.
Oh, I don't.
In 2000.
Oh, yeah.
I got rid of it, and because it was just causing me too much stress. Yeah. And I got rid of my Facebook for a really long time. I wasn't using my Facebook for years, for, I don't know, 4 years, something like that. And then having a YouTube channel, I realized, I should make a Facebook group.
Yeah, if you're going to dive into, because there's a difference between speaking to people, like even socializing with people out in public, and jumping into the internet, because people act completely differently on the internet than they do in person. It's very interesting to see. You get people who, they almost resume a persona when they're behind a screen, and people can be a lot more, they're not as nice to each other, for one thing. No. Because they feel comfortable saying a lot of things that they probably would never say in person. I really don't like that, because you get just a lot more negativity. And that's not always a true reflection of that person. And it's just like, you end up seeing a lot more negativity, a lot of other stuff that really isn't important.
One thing too is so hard sometimes. And this is on your phone even. If you text somebody something, it can be completely taken out of context, because it's like, wait, did they say, there's no emphasis on it. So it's like, did they mean it this way? Did they mean it this way?
That's why, that tends to be why people, kind of in my generation, like even the younger Gen Z, we use a lot of, like, saying LOL a lot and emojis, because
that's what I've learned how to do.
It helps to let the person know that you're not saying something really seriously, because sometimes you'll type out a sentence, and because the person's not really there, you have no idea what the emotion is behind the sentence, so you'll read it and it can come across sounding like, oh, are they upset with me? So we tend to kind of, I don't know, put like smiley faces and things on there, just so you know I'm not saying this in a serious, angry tone, because sometimes it comes across that way, and that's not what you mean at all.
And that's totally what I have started to do. I have totally started, when I reply to somebody, I'll usually do a laughy emoji or a heart or something like that, because it's like,
it's just to let the person know your emotion behind what you're saying, just so they know how you're feeling. Yeah, because you're not face to face.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's kind of how, like, there's a lot of good things that come out of it. Don't get me wrong. Like, people can communicate a lot more. You can connect with a lot of people. Like, I honestly I found a lot of my friends through, I use Discord to talk with my friends, and pretty much all of my friends live in different parts of the world or different states, and I've never actually met them in person, but we use like a voice chat every night. So we join in a call and we're actually like speaking to each other. And I've got friends in there from literally all over the world, and we get on, there's at least 3 or 4 of us get on every single night, and we just hang out and we talk. And so that's something that, you know, is really nice. You can make friends with a lot of people from lots of different places. And I've been talking to my buddy. He lives in Lithuania, and it's very interesting talking to people from other countries and learning what it's like over there. Like we literally just last night we were having, or the night before, we were having a discussion about the difference in the economies between America and Lithuania and how much their money is worth compared to ours. And he was talking about how much he gets paid, and he's like, wow, everything is so much cheaper in America. I can't believe how much you guys get paid. That's amazing. He was talking about, you know, the apartment he lives in was built way back in the day. There's like a specific name for the type of apartment it was. I don't remember what he said. But yeah, it's, don't get me wrong, there's lots of good things that come out of it. I just personally don't really use it because I don't feel like I have the time to spend on it. And
you don't want to.
No, and the people that I do actually want to talk to aren't on there.
Right. Like I'm thinking of my friend Chris right now. Hi, Chris. I know you're listening. She lives up in the Arctic and in Canada, and her family lives down in, I won't say where, Chris, but down further in Canada. And so I can see somebody like her definitely, you know, like using social media and stuff like that, and it's almost a necessity to, like you were saying, to be able to connect with people that you know and stuff like that. But you're talking about like strangers. I understand that because like Facebook literally stresses me out. Not my group. My Facebook group doesn't stress me out because people are posting memes, they're posting pictures of their painting. We're all talking about like a common interest. Sure. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But my regular Facebook, I can't even look at it. I can't. I will just not. I don't want to look at it.
So I'm only using things like this if I know what I'm using it for, like Facebook Marketplace, or we have the coworker chat, or now I'm using Discord because I have a group of friends and we get on and we talk to each other every single day, and we met because we were all playing the same like games together, right? And then we eventually all started talking. Now I've been friends with them for like almost 4+ years, and I know all of them by first name. Like, that's crazy. And literally not a single one of them lives anywhere close to me. I've got one friend, he lives on the other side of the country. Most of them are actually from like Eastern Europe countries, which is kind of interesting. I've got a buddy from Slovakia, a buddy in Croatia, somebody in Lithuania. We have an English guy. We had somebody from India for a while. I've got a Danish guy in there. We've got somebody from Russia. I'm trying to think. We had somebody from, I think is he from Argentina, I think, too? And I think only one time I actually had somebody from the same area I am, which was very interesting. I don't know how we got all these people from all these different places together, but you know, we all share common interests. Most of them aren't on all the time, but you know, we've all talked with them at one point or another, and it's pretty much just like a pretty tight-knit core group. Of like maybe at most 6 of us. It's a community. Yeah, we all get together and we just talk and laugh, and not like most of them, English isn't even their first language, but it's amazing we're able to all just sit around and talk and laugh about the same things and play games together, and we have a really, really good time. I'm looking forward, now that I have over 1,000 subscribers, being able to go live so I can talk to people. I mean, I can't actually talk, I guess, to them because they're typing to me, but it would be nice. It would be nice if YouTube had, I guess you could do Zoom and stuff like that. You could do Zoom features, but it would be really cool to in real time talk, because I've made so many connections. I don't know if you see the comments on my videos, but these people literally are like the nicest subscribers. They're just constantly
it blows my mind.
Well,
it blows my mind.
Something
It
I was
blows my
thinking of
mind.
because of that, Mitchell's band, they have a fan somewhere on the other side of the planet
Mm-hmm.
who loves them so much, he actually asked if they could print a record and send it over to them.
That's crazy.
So that was something cool that
wow.
I heard about. But yeah, I love having this little chat. Like, they're all my homies.
Yeah.
And everybody's got a microphone, so we just joined the voice call, and I've spoken to all of them. I know, like, literally, I think four or five of them, actually. I know them, like, their real names and everything, and
you know what blows my mind?
pretty much where they live and everything, and, like...
What blows my mind is they all speak English.
Yeah. Yep, they all speak English.
Isn't that pretty amazing?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, I'm just going to bring this up real quick because you know how much I love America. But man, people around the world know English, and
Yeah.
I'm sitting over here. I can't even say. I can say hola. Okay, Spanish is like the second most spoken language in our country, and I haven't even learned how to speak, Spanish. It's it just blows my mind. These people from other countries, and they're just like, oh yeah, I can totally communicate with you.
Yeah.
It blows my mind.
A lot of them, like, they've got, families and kids, so I'll hear, like, one of my buddies, his wife and kids talking in the background in a different language.
Yeah.
And he turns around and he's talking to them, and he'll go back to speaking English
Right.
to us. And I think he's like, my kids are starting to speak English better than I can because they're watching YouTube all the time.
Oh my gosh, that's
like,
so
they're going
funny.
to outpace me.
That's so funny.
Yeah, so it's really cool just getting to chat with everybody, and they're all really, really cool people. We've talked about so many different things, and not all of them get on every night, but I talk about all the time with them. Like, it's so, how did we manage to get people from all these different places? Like,
at the
not
same time,
one of us is in the same time zone. Like, not even 3 Americans in there, including me, and not one of us lives in the same state.
Yeah. That's crazy. But you're still committed. Yeah. You're still all so committed.
Almost none of them over there live in the same country except for one person who just invited his cousin to hang out with us. And it was just like,
That's so crazy.
How did we get this? How did this happen? I don't know. Because they get up so early in the morning just so they can come hang out with us.
That's so cool.
Just, one of my friends, he literally talks to us. He works from home. He's literally just talking to us while he's working. And he's like, what are these people ordering? Oh my gosh.
That's funny. So I think I know the answer to this question, but now that I say that, I think I'm wrong. What's your favorite holiday?
Well, I love Halloween, of course.
Okay, that was my first guess.
Yeah, because I love fall, but I mean, Christmas is also really, really great. So
that was my second guess.
Yeah, Halloween and Christmas are probably my 2 favorites. I really love Halloween, partly because fall is my favorite season.
Me too. It's Brendan's too.
Winter's okay, but where we live, it's very wet. Just the whole winter season. We don't really get a lot of snow. When it snows, it's great. You get to go out in the snow, but unfortunately, even if it does snow, it gets wet really quickly, and you can't always enjoy it.
No. And
so I don't like winter too much, especially now that I work outside, and I'm just always out in the wet, having to, de-ice troughs, and the locks won't open because they're frozen, and on top of that, your gloves are getting soaked through with water, and you're getting soaked through with water, and it's just really cold. So not always a huge fan of winter. It depends.
But you like Christmas better or Halloween?
I think I like Halloween better, but it's a pretty close tie.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of spring. I mean, it's okay. It's nice because it's not too hot. It's still pretty wet. And then I do not like summer.
I hate summer.
I get to go outside.
I hate summer.
Because
hate it.
It's too hot. I sunburn really easily.
I don't like the smoke.
We get a lot of wildfire smoke up here. But yeah.
Did you hear that Mount St. Helens is about to erupt again?
No.
NASA found out that there is a huge magna flow building in it.
Well, we were planning on going camping out there. I don't think we're gonna wait on that.
Yeah, I think you need to wait.
I think we need to wait.
You do not go out there. Do not go out there. But yeah, look it up because I don't know why it reminded me of that, but you're getting married.
Yeah, yes I am.
You're getting married, girl. You're getting married.
Yeah.
What the heck?
We still don't really have like any plans. We don't know if we want to just go off and get like go down to City Hall and get it certified.
Right.
And then have
wouldn't that save everything?
And then just have like a reception.
Right.
Something like a big party for everybody.
I think that's a great idea, but it's up to you guys.
I don't know, because I'm thinking of like, oh my gosh, who do we invite? What do we do? When do we have this?
It can get overwhelming. And then if you have other voices chiming in, you're just going to go crazy.
Luckily, it's been pretty quiet. Like we told his parents, and everything's been pretty
chill.
Pretty chill.
Okay,
so,
good. I was worried about that.
I don't know if he suggested to him, like, I don't know if should we just go off and like go get it.
Look what we did.
Yeah.
Look what Mom and Dad did.
Yeah. So I've thought about that. I'm like, I don't know what we want to do yet. And I mean, there's no big rush. Like nothing.
No, absolutely not.
Other than we spend a bunch of money to
just the seasons.
People. Like
just the seasons. That's all it's right. I mean, buying a dress, getting a photographer, getting a caterer.
Exactly.
Blah, blah, blah.
So what to think about?
Are you okay? Hand to God. Dad made me type this out.
Oh my gosh.
This was Dad's question. Because I said, do you think there's anything else I should ask her? And he goes, yeah, ask her if she wants to have kids.
Dad.
I said, okay, I'll put it on there.
I wouldn't want to have more than 2 if we did. Mitchell literally was just like, he was holding up the number 1.
No, 1.
He was like, yeah. I'm like, I wouldn't want more than 2. Because he said he comes from a large family. I don't think I would want to have a lot of kids.
No.
Like if we do, it wouldn't be more than 2. Because I wouldn't want to have that many kids.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a lot
to deal with.
It is a lot to deal with. Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else that you think I should have asked you about your personality or something that would stand out about your characteristics or...
We could talk about all the pets I have.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you go ahead and handle that one, Kels?
So, along with being into paleontology, I've always been really into like reptiles and amphibians. And for a while, I wanted to be a herpetologist, which is somebody who like studies reptiles. So I have 2 bearded dragons now.
Did you say herp?
Herp.
Okay.
Herpetologist. Yep. Okay. So I have 2 bearded dragons now. And because I just can't have enough pets, I have like this giant tank of fish. And then I have a cat. So I've always kind of had...
And what's your cat's name?
Sheba.
Kristen, do you hear that? She has a cat.
So she's a Russian blue. Mm-hmm. She's like 9 or 10 now.
Yeah, she is. Mm-hmm. She is.
She was an outside cat for a long time, and now she's my little silly indoor cat.
She's the only cat that survived out here.
Yeah.
The only one that survived.
She wants nothing to do with the outdoors now, which is good. I never have to worry about her running out the door.
Yeah.
You open the door and she runs in the opposite direction.
Right.
Somewhere, and she's like, I don't want to go out there.
Yeah, that's good.
So she enjoys the indoors. She gets kind of weird sometimes, as pretty much all cats do. Yeah, she really enjoys being outside, and I've had my 1 bearded dragon since 2013, so she's like 11 now.
How long do they live?
They can live about as long as dogs, so...
Oh, okay, wow.
Yeah, she's pretty old.
Yeah.
11's pretty old, and she's going on 12, so... Old girl.
Yeah.
And then I've got my other one who's like, I think 4 years old. He's a boy. So I have to keep them in separate tanks.
Right.
Yeah, they're pretty fun. They're really easy to take care of. So if anybody's ever interested in getting started with reptiles, bearded dragons are really, really easy to take care of. And they're super, they have a personality. Each one has a personality. One of mine really likes watching videos. He'll try to eat the screen.
Oh, that's
because he
funny.
sees it moving.
Yeah.
And he'll run across my keyboard and jump at my computer screen or jump at my phone.
Because he sees the movement and he's like...
He just sees movement and he's like, oh, I'm going to eat it no matter what it is.
If you guys have a reptile, any type of reptile, comment down below. We want to know. And because Kelsey's going to see this video, obviously, and she's going to... Oh my gosh. She's going to see the comments and all that kind of stuff. So... yeah, if you guys have a bearded dragon, they're actually, I don't want to say they're common, but I have known a lot of people that have had bearded dragons.
I would consider them a good starter. Like a lot of people want to get geckos, and geckos can be a little more complicated because they're tropical. So that you have to manage their humidity. Whereas bearded dragons, they're from Australia. So they're from the desert, and they can be a little easier to manage. Obviously, it still is an exotic animal, and
let's be fair, those cages tanks are huge.
Yes, they are.
You have huge tanks.
Yeah, they're big tanks. Takes at least
I don't know.
2
They
people.
seem big to me.
Yeah, they're big. It takes 2 people to lift it up. Minimum.
How big are they? They're really big.
I don't remember.
Okay, they're big.
I had to get like these special shelves for them though, which is so the display looks much nicer now. But yeah, you can bring them out. They get pretty big, and they're usually really, really nice. They have personality. And yeah, from my experience, they're really, really easy to take care of if you're starting off.
Yeah. That's really, really cool. Well, is there any parting words that you would like to say to anybody, or?
I'm not sure. Well, thank you for all the nice comments you guys left on Mitchell's video. He has a hard time taking compliments, but I know that he really appreciates all the nice things everybody's been saying. Just for Veterans Day, he went and wore his uniform to work. He got a lot of turned heads looking at how he was dressed, but he really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Things seem to be going well over at Boeing now. The contract's been accepted, so just have to find out if anybody's getting laid off. Because that's still going on, so he won't know for quite a while here, but he got a really big raise, and so things are hopefully looking up. Yeah, things are looking up. It'll all work out. It'll be okay. It'll be all right. Yeah, Mitchell, that's a good segue, because I wanted to thank you guys for all of the kind comments that you left for him. So many of you guys were just, like I said, I'm telling you, I have the nicest, I'm not just saying I have the nicest subscribers. You guys were so kind to him and so nice in your comments, and he definitely saw them, and yeah, it sounds like he was flattered, and he's kind of a shy person, so for him to see that kind of stuff really means a lot to him. He really takes it to heart. So yeah, all right, Kelsey, well, thank you so much thanks for having me,
for letting me interview you.
Of course.
I think it's so cool. I have the best kids. I told you guys I have the best kids. I have the best kids. I was telling them how I never gave you guys an allowance. And that you still had chores. And I was talking about this one time, and I used to have a list on the refrigerator of things you could do.
I'll give you $5 if you guys help me fold this laundry.
Right. To do. Like, you had a list of things. Here's how you could earn money. But I was telling people that, and I said, and our kids turning out so amazing. It's unbelievable. I mean, I'm not going to say how much you have in your savings account, but holy crap. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
That was a crazy story.
Holy crap.
I won a scholarship, and they didn't get around to actually giving me the scholarship money until after I graduated. And I got this check in the mail from them, and I'm like, what is this?
And she tried to give it back.
Well, I thought that they didn't get my tuition payment, or they were returning the check, and I was really scared that they didn't get my payment. And they were, oh, no, that was your scholarship money. You actually won. We didn't get around to giving it out until 2 years later. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, that was so weird. So, yeah. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave it there. Please leave any comments for Kelsey down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you wouldn't mind. Make sure to subscribe, of course, and I will talk with you soon. Loves.